Hi, this is Shambhavi. Welcome to my weekly podcast about spirituality, love, death, devotion, and waking up while living in a messy world. The Satsang with Shambhavi podcast is recorded live each week with students of our nonprofit community, Jayakula. For more information and to find out about attending a satsang, visit jayakula.org. Thanks for listening. Much love to you, wherever and however you are. So I thought today I'd tell you what a terrible day I had. But there's a trick. So I have to get pedicures because I have ingrown toenails on my big toe. And I have to keep them in check. And I get calluses on the bottom of my feet because I don't really walk that even. So, I have to tend to my feet basically. So I went to get a pedicure. And they put some lotion on me and I broke out in hives. Oh. I had big red blotches all over my ankles and legs and on my hands where I touched my legs. Then, the day before that, after having gotten a cold virus, I also got a computer virus. Oh. And so I had taken my computer, I'd done everything I knew how to do. I took my computer down to some guy Geek, I think was his business. I can't quite, it was in Northwest. And he said I had to leave the computer overnight. I said, okay. So after getting hives / pedicure, I went down to the guy's office in Northwest. He said, it's fixed, it's fine, I got it all out. Took it back, went back up to my favorite cafe to get some work done before I had a meeting with a student, opened my computer, and it still had a virus. So then I had to go back to Northwest Geek, and since I'm leaving on a plane tomorrow, I couldn't really leave my computer overnight. So I sat for 2 hours in his little cubie, which was freezing cold with like very high intensity air conditioning going on. And he finally fixed it. And then I realized that I had left my very expensive and necessary noise cancellation headphones in the nail salon earlier that day. So I had to drive from Northwest to Selwood and then back. So this is one story of the day. Here's the other story of the day. So I got up and I had to go to the nail salon because I have to take care of my feet. And I went in the nail salon and there was just this really unusual, energetic and kind of goofy Vietnamese woman who did my nails, and she was sort of hopping around like a child. I don't know if you know the way Sada Shiva hops around on his toes and sort of runs everywhere. She was kind of like that, and she was really goofy in her manner of speech and laughed a lot, and she was really charming. Then I had to go pick up my computer and bring it back to the cafe, where they actually agreed to put my favorite turmeric maple mixture in tea instead of coffee, and it was really delicious. Then I had a really sweet meeting with Lavinia. Then I had to go back to the Northwest and sit for 2 hours in Guy Geek's little office space where they were blasting 70s disco music, which I really enjoyed because I hadn't heard it in so long, and I was sort of dancing while he was fixing my computer. And some interesting people came in and had little conversations with him, including one deaf woman whose son was translating for her, but telling her what was wrong with her computer that had been fixed. Then I drove back to Selwood, and on the way, for very unusual, because in Maine you don't get to drive long distances unless you're really going somewhere. But just in the course of an everyday, no drive is really longer than 7 minutes. So consequently, I've often heard 7 minutes of Rachel Maddow podcast, or 7 minutes of Democracy Now! But I rarely get to hear more than 7 minutes of any news, which might be good, because really who needs more than 7 minutes a day? But I got to listen, because I had to drive. What's the name of your neighborhood again? I keep forgetting. Woodstock to Northwest to the cafe, which is near Ladd's Addition, back to Northwest, back to Selwood, back to Southeast Hawthorne, and down here. I actually got to listen to the entire Rachel Maddow podcast and like 75% of Democracy Now! And there was a really interesting interview on there with a brother-in-law of Grassley, who was talking about the history of their family, and 74 of whom had died in the Holocaust. And, you know, how they immigrated, some of them immigrated before the Holocaust, and then the others didn't want to come or couldn't come, and they all, like every single one of them perished. So those are the two stories of my day. Did I have a good day or a bad day? I just wanted to mention that one time I was near tears, just because I was very tired. You know, it was like literally I'd only been out of bed for 24 hours from the cold that I had. And it was just a lot of effort. I was tired, driving all around, and, you know, little tears also welled up in my eyes. So there was some kind of feeling of exhaustion from all this. But we have the capacity as practitioners to still see what's happening around us, even when we're having a bad day. A lot of times when people are having a bad day, I mean, you guys never do this, but you just kind of shut down. You know, you go into grumble mode, and you just shut down, and then everything. Oh, also, I forgot to say, I actually have enjoyed telling this story 3 or 4 times today about my terrible day. So, because it actually was so extraordinarily, ridiculously off that it was actually kind of funny, right? And it made a good story. So that was another pleasure of my terrible day. As practitioners, we have the capacity to still open our hearts, notice other people enjoy what's happening around us. And this has to do with not insisting on our misery. Okay? A lot of us insist on our misery. We actually resist if anyone tries to suggest that we might have an opportunity not to be miserable, or not to bemoan our problems, or not to be self-absorbed, right? Because our problems there are so major, and when things are really terrible. Okay? In any circumstance, even in circumstances obviously much worse than mine today, there is that opportunity to connect with other people, to enjoy how things are. So you just let yourself enjoy something in between all these things that are going wrong, right? You don't have to commit to your miserableness. And this is a kind of freedom, right? If we don't have to be railroaded by circumstance into feeling a particular way. We have a concept. Bad things happen, things went wrong, now I'm going to feel miserable, because that's what you do. I mean, it's just normal and natural and right and justified. And then guess what? You're just stuck with your misery. No one else is stuck with it. I mean, unless you make someone else be stuck with it. In general, you're the one that is stuck with it. So, just a little demonstration.
Is it your experience that you have to, when you're in the middle of something like that, a day, no good, awful, horrible, bad day, is it your experience that you have to actually work through, like, bad feelings that come up? Or are you so relaxed at this point that you just skip over the difficult part and you're able to just relax into it?
Well, first of all, you have to know, and you probably do know, that I enjoy complaining. So
you're from the East Coast.
Yeah, complaining's fun. So it gave me something to complain about. But the problem is, if you take your complaints too seriously, then you're in trouble, right? Then you're hurting yourself. I just felt tired, right? And so there was just that. I didn't feel like anything was really wrong, because stuff happens. I mean, almost every day in my life is a good day, and then one day so many things go wrong. Actually, the whole trip has been a bunch of obstacles in terms of my writing, because I got on the plane thinking I'd have 6 hours to write, and there was no Wi-Fi on the plane. So I couldn't download my document that I'd been working on because it wasn't on my computer. And then I got here and got sick. I got a virus, then my computer got a virus. So basically I've done nothing since I've been here except be sick, run around trying to fix things and screwing up. But it's just one of those things, this is just how samsara is. And so there's a sense of healthy resignation. Not heavy resignation, just healthy, okay. Not my first choice, but when we run into circumstances like that, it gives us opportunity to practice being practical and still enjoying things.